Sorry, just catching up on some light reading.
A little bit on the inner side of greatness. A shameless plug here, Peter Kostenbaum. Read it if you get a chance. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk aquaponics.
Are we, Tim?
We
are we really?
We are here for that reason and that reason alone.
What are we
Chris
going to talk about?
is going to fill you in. We decided to do a video blog, do something a little different to the written. For those of you who are struggling to read Kyle's ramblings from week to week. And yeah, Chris is going to start us off by telling us where we're at so far.
We're going to talk a bit about aquaponics, how we're getting on. What is it, week 8 now, Kyle?
Sure.
Week 8, I'm going to talk a bit about where we're getting on with the research, and then Tim's going to jump in and chat to us about what we're doing in the bigger picture. You happy with that? Yeah. Tim just got a haircut.
And a beard cut.
And a beard trim.
40 shekels.
How long did it take?
Hour and a half. Went from politics to theology.
And back.
To my balding scalp. And then to
Did he mention your balding scalp? What did he say?
He said, I can make it work. That's what he said. So I trusted him on that.
Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah. Cover it up. Anyway, aquaponics.
Speak up. No worries. Thanks, Kyle. Good direction. At the moment, we are doing well. We're coming to the end of our initial crop, our first crop of our research stint. We have 2 weeks left before we harvest in and around. We're doing, on the whole, really well. The crops, the rocket, the lettuce and the peas are all doing very well in growth and in colour. The basil are doing really well in terms of growth, colour not so great, so we've seen 1 or 2 deficiencies. The main problem so far has been pH. I think we've probably mentioned that in some blogs before, but the groundwater is really hard, so that's pushed the pH up to a level that the plants don't really appreciate, but we are trying to work with these parameters. But we've got a ground grown patch where our 40 plants that we have planted in all of our systems, and the growth is nowhere near as fast as what we're finding on our trial systems. I'd say it's probably about 4 or 5 times faster on our trials
at least
than the ground. So that's great news, and we've mitigated the evaporation. Well, it's not as warm as it was, but we've put covers in place and trying to figure it out. So we're using all of the water that we are using compared to what you would find in a ground grown situation where you lose a lot of water to evaporation and just water getting into the soil. So that's great, because obviously water is one of our biggest issues and why we're doing this in the first place, and retaining as much as we can. So yeah, we'll harvest in 2 weeks. We'll weigh up our crops and we'll see which system is the best. We already gone in for the NFTs because of their versatility. We can probably grow in the space that we have at the moment maybe another 40 plants compared to say the flood and drain, which is the grow bed. So that's obviously a huge benefit, and it uses less water as well, so we can retain water in the NFTs much more efficiently. So we're thinking the NFTs are the way to go.
Okay. So as well as figuring out what is the best system that we have at the moment, the other thing that we're trying to do, and what I'm focusing a lot of my time on right now, is what are the potential opportunities for us to use the system afterwards. So up to now we've had around about 20-25 people come in a week from all different walks of life. So people from hardware shops, from other organisations working here, tourists, environmentalists, and others who are just interested in seeing what aquaponics is and how it works in an urban setting and in this context. So right now we obviously our end of our research is February, so we're trying to think what can we do from February onwards. So looking at the options, seeing what the best next step will be. We're very keen on focusing on quality and doing something small. And like one of the biggest challenges is not creating a system that works, but being able to teach a family how to use the system and maintain the system. That's where the rubber hits the road with this. Aquaponics is not overly complicated, but people need to be passionate about it and need to invest in it and want to learn and make it work. And so it's trying to see whether that can happen on the ground with people who don't necessarily have a good basis in ever doing anything like this before, in growing, or even in a basic science education. So it's trying to make it as accessible as possible, and so that's kind of what we're working on now. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Sounds good. Any other questions, Cal?
I'm happy.
Happy?
Very happy.
Great. How you guys getting on with the NMF? IMF.
So
I go back to reading my book.